So lights, camera, autism, we are back with Nish. And Nish Parikh, that's how you pronounce your last name?
Yep, Parikh.
Parikh.
Yep.
You are from India and you're living in North America right now. And we love the global focus because we are embracing the world right now with our summit. He is the CEO and Chief Innovation Officer at Rangum. And Nish is a visionary who develops strategic workforce solutions for Rangum and its customers by aligning their disability inclusion strategies with current and future talent acquisition needs. Nish is an alumnus of the Harvard Business School and an instrumentation and control engineer by profession. Over the past 15 years, he has built a culture of empathy and innovation while undertaking key people initiatives both within Rangum and outside. Driven by philosophy of employment for everyone, Nish creates rewarding and sustainable career opportunities for individuals with unique abilities and military veterans. He serves on the external executive board of the Undergraduate Research and Innovation URI programs at the New Jersey Institute of Technology and is a member of the Forbes Human Resources Council. Welcome, Nish. That's
Thank you.
wonderful,
Thank you.
wonderful. And I know when I met you, we met with empathy. We really, really did. I think I called you during COVID and you were at your father-in-law's bedside. And it was a really touching moment. You really touched me. And thank you so much for being a part of the summit.
No, thank you for taking the lead, and I really admire your backdrop. It looks like you have wings and you are literally really spreading this amazing message all over the world. So thank you for all the great work you've been doing for so many years.
Thank you so much, Nish. And so I'm going to ask you, what has inspired you to be part of the World Autism Summit?
I remember I attended one of your conference about 10 years ago, somewhere in 2014. It was in Florida. And since then, I'm aware of all your great work at Autism Today. And since then, I have been partnering with organizations and leaders, thought leaders like you. And when you decided to put together this global summit, World Autism Summit, um, I was thrilled, of course, to participate and contribute and to your work and to your passion. So we thank you for the opportunity to come and speak and talk to you.
Well, what we're doing here is we're moving the needle of understanding and success fastest way possible around the globe. And you're doing the same thing. So, what is your biggest passion that you want to do to share, with the world around autism and neurodiversity? I know you're doing a lot of really wonderful things.
Yeah.
Why don't you share that?
Yeah. So my dream, I would say, or our dream at Rangam is how do we help companies change that initiatives driven concept of hiring neurodiverse talent and people on the spectrum, convert that into best practices, and not just doing the right thing, but doing good by doing, for their own business, and make that as a strategy versus initiatives. That's the mission we have taken. And we have seen some good progress, good companies who is really serious about hiring neurodiverse talent, individuals on this autistic individuals. They are putting some great efforts, so it becomes part of the routine, part of their hiring practices, and not just initiatives of hiring one or two individuals. That's what really our passion is around bringing that change to the global employers we work with.
It's really challenging for people to get jobs out there for the autistic and neurodiverse, not students, but well, I guess students too. But young adults, it's really hard for them to get jobs. A lot of the resumes end up in the garbage cans or just into the abyss.
Yeah.
And I know that my son struggles with that alone. Do you have advice for people, to get past?
Yeah. First advice, I would say not to give up. And second advice is that just be open and transparent. Share your strength and just try to manage your weaknesses. This is something I learned from one of my professors at Harvard. And that can be applied to any individual, not only just autistic individuals or people, neurodiverse individuals, but it is applied to everyone, right? That we try to manage our weaknesses and focus on our strength. And when it comes to job hunting or job search, that's the key. Identify some of our strength and then seek for the advice, because that's what some of the organizations like Rangum and others are doing, where we try to map their strength with the right job.
Oh, that's
because that's where the challenge and the opportunity is, that if we do that right mapping ourselves with the advice and guidance from the experts, and once we get on that track of that career path, then sky's the limit. And we have seen it, and we see this every day. Yes, it's a little challenging in the beginning of the journey, like any other individuals, any other student, neurotypical or neurodiverse, doesn't matter. It's always tough. And that time, I would say, not to give up and just keep on working towards that.
Keep on keeping on. That's a really, really good strategy.
Yes. Yes.
Really good. What is your biggest why for what you do?
Biggest why is, I would say, we as a workforce solution company, right? It's a great profession, very satisfying, because we help people find meaningful job. But when I learned about, and this is something which in 2007, when I started learning about autism and neurodiversity and young children on the autism spectrum and their challenges with their learning abilities, that's how kind of a curiosity, empathy, combination of that, I started my journey of learning. I started my journey of learning how children on the autism spectrum, they learn, what is education plan, and what those evidence-based intervention methods of teaching children on the spectrum. So I spent about a year in a special needs classroom, and that was kind of aha moment, and that really created my why. That really made me think that what we are doing in the employment space, there is an opportunity to help millions globally who is struggling to acquire this skill. And another big thing which I learned, that it's not just one individual on the spectrum, or child on the spectrum, or adult on the spectrum. It's the whole ecosystem. There are family members and professionals. They work so hard to build some of their abilities and skills. And at certain point, after 21, as we all know, that the cliff, and that's when the real challenge I started learning about those challenges. I said, wait a minute, this is something we do for living, employment. How do I tap into that expertise within my team, internal as well as external, and partner with autistic community and people on the spectrum and experts and leaders, thought leaders like you, and I think there is an opportunity to bring change, and it is a high time, and that's how I started about 15 years ago. And every day, every week, every month, every year has been an amazing journey of learning and collaborating, and that has really created my why and that self-satisfaction of doing something good, and at the same time build a business around it, because I'm a true believer that sustainability point of view, Rangam can go and contribute and participate in fundraising and contribute, but where I would really like to make an impact is more sustainable, bring that change so that it will be there forever. That's what is driving us and driving me.
That's great. That's great. And that leads into my next question is, how can we set up systems of success in partner relationships globally?
Yeah, so this is something we always talk about that, right, Karen, that it's not one individual or organization will able to make a difference or bring this change or make this work for organizations who is interested in hiring people with disability, people on the spectrum or neurodiverse. It's I'm a true believer of collaboration, and as we all know, we all bring something together, right? Yeah. Because this is new to us. This is new 10, 20, 30 years, and we are all learning. So the goal is how we share our learnings, exchange those ideas, and build this future for individuals on the spectrum. And it's a journey. It's not a destination. And through this type of collaboration, through this type of conversation and spreading awareness, my experience has been, really this whole world is coming together and participating in this type of conversation to take all of our activities in our own silos and build that bigger picture of success together as a community.
That's really, really beautiful. How do you find it in other places, in other countries? Do you find a big difference in the populations, and like, how does that all unfold?
Yeah, it is different in terms of culture, in terms of maturity of awareness, in terms of educational infrastructure. It varies in terms of regulations. But the beauty is, because of this whole digital world of social media, and which is giving us a platform like this, and in last 10 years, I have seen and experienced that we are able to exchange our ideas and quickly, rapidly, all those differences or I would say, differences in the area of regulations as well as that awareness, it's all making good progress. So the way I see next 10 to 20 years, hope is that we will have pretty much all different different countries and different communities will have similar and more robust infrastructure as well as awareness and programs to promote employment for people on the spectrum.
Awesome. That's the goal, moving the needle of understanding, right? Fastest possible.
Yes. Yes.
So now, so you often emphasize the importance of fostering an environment of support and empathy for autistic candidates and employees. Can you share how Rangum has cultivated such an environment where individuals aren't judged, but instead are provided the space to contribute to their fullest potential.
Yes. So one of the things which we always talk about is hiring neurodiverse candidates or hiring autistic individual is not new to companies
Right.
and employers, right? It has been going on for years because, as we know, 1 out of 20 is neurodiverse, and so individuals are all around us. But what we are all working towards is how do we create that culture of awareness, culture of empathy, and more through the education and having this type of conversations. What we have seen that pretty much all of us are connected to someone who is neurodiverse or who is on the spectrum. It's just a matter of having this type of dialogue and conversation, and through this type of conversation we are kind of creating that culture of more empathy and understanding. So based on that, now when we bring in the talent to the workforce, as a workforce, now these individuals, the key is goal is they are not misunderstood. One of the biggest challenge, as we all know, that with the self ID and the HR, they all face challenges with is self identification, self ID at the workplace. And what we have seen that when companies, they take the initiatives, when they start talking about their programs that they are hiring neurodiverse talent, we have seen a tremendous change in the self ID, because now employees are getting are feeling comfortable sharing their diagnosis or sharing their needs, in some cases special needs or accommodations. So that is very important. That's what is really, now you talk about the awareness to action, right? And this is the action and real action in this area, which is really needed. So building that empathetic culture, building that understanding at the workplace, and sharing, and not only that, putting it in action, taking those understandings into policies and procedures and support mechanism, so that we can support each other.
Are there gaps that people are not being able to fill, like in particular, like the arts or certain areas like that? Are you having too many employees in certain areas or not enough in others? Or
so yeah, I would say more than talent, it's more about what companies and people and leaders, hiring leaders, what they have heard, right? So based on that, what we have seen is typically employers, they start with, and this is in last 20 years, they start with their technology related hiring programs, because they have seen those evidences, and which is a great start. But recent years, what we have started seeing, that now companies are more and more aware of that, every individual is different. They bring in different abilities, they bring in different strength and skills. It's all up to us how we tap into those skills, and most importantly, map those skills with the right job. So in recent years, we have started seeing companies are more and more open, and that's how we see ourselves. That's our role as a workforce solution company. We started educating our employer partners, they started understanding, and we always start with small. We always start with a little bit out of scope kind of job opportunities. We build those success stories. That's how we are constantly expanding this horizon of job opportunities for autistic individuals. So, but it's a process, it's a journey. Yes, there are always some pockets where some individuals, they have seen success and they say, oh, I know individuals, they are amazing in software testing area. Can we hire a few folks? We don't want to we don't want to say no, because this is how we can start those success, start having that traction at the workplace. But then it's our job to educate them and expand their horizon.
So that must be an intuitive process, or is it more you just tune into somebody to find the right match?
So again, it's a process on both sides, right? One of the challenge we face is when we commit for one particular role, and in that area, if we are not able to find the talent or that type of course, we try our best to make the accommodations when it comes to roles and responsibilities and experience expectation. We try to do that, but still, let's say after putting all the efforts, if we are not able to find the right candidate, because we always make sure that it's not a charity, it is good for the business, and we are bringing in true talent. Yes, there might be a possibility where someone might need a little bit of hand holding in the beginning part of the employment. But once the person understands, and once we give that opportunity, sky is the limit. So it's a process.
I need hand holding sometimes.
We all need. I need hand holding for my team and my family members. We all need, and that's the beauty. That's why we all live in the society. We are not living on our own, and it's a beautiful world when there is harmony and that empathetic approach, right? So,
in today's workplace dynamics, how do you advocate for and ensure that autistic candidates and employees receive the understanding and flexibility they need to shine, rather than being confined by conventional workplace norms and expectations?
yeah. So we talked about collaboration, and we talked about setting up those expectations. So one of the things which we have learned when we work with these large global organizations, there are multiple stakeholders to bring that change, and that change also it takes time. So we always start with small. Couple of principles we follow. We start with small goals with bigger picture in mind. Also, we engage all the key stakeholders, all the passionate employee resource group, to the procurement, to HR, to DEI, because in a large global organization, there are a lot of moving parts, as we all know, and the goal is, how do we get everybody's buy-in? Everybody should feel comfortable. So that's really how we start the conversation. We get the buy-in, and then most important part is communication. Then how we communicate throughout the organization, and then just it's a truly collaborative efforts, right? So another thing we always share, that we can bring in the expertise. We will bring in the expertise. We will bring in the best practices. We will bring in the framework and all of our learnings, but it is going to be a collaborative effort. So when we work with any organization, any group, it's all collaborative efforts. We will learn, we will fail, but our commitment is we will fail only once. We'll keep on improving ourselves and get better and better. That's really how we are championing these initiatives to create the right environment so the individuals are successful when they are hired.
That's great. Collaboration is king.
Yes, collaboration is the key. Right.
It is. With the rise of virtual platforms, how can technology be of help in advancing the cause of autism awareness and support?
Yeah. So technology, it has two components. That's how I see technology has been a great a tool or a opportunity for individuals um, to get the support they need. But one thing which we have been experiencing is accessibility related issues. So if the technology is not accessible or has some limitations, then that can be hurdle. And we have seen and we experience that it's getting better. It's every technology, a platform, and organizations are becoming better and better in terms of accessibility. Um, but once we have those standards in place and once we identify those right technology, um, it is really creating the even play field for people without spectrum or without neurodiverse or without disability and people with disability. So it is really a great opportunity, and we have seen some tremendous success in terms of twofold. One is it is helping us scale up this programs through the technology. It's helping us make it more cost effective also. And the third is it's a powerful tool individuals they can use day in and out for their own success and therefore career growth. So it has been a great uh, play in this space when it comes to
Good way to put it. Yeah, it really, really helps with global reach. You can talk
yeah
to people, like we're talking right now,
yeah
do it. It's a very, very good tool, technology.
yes
And yeah, it really helped a lot during COVID, and a lot of people that, couldn't normally, go to work. I,
yeah
I
yeah
agree with you yeah.
yeah and it is giving us the access to um, some of the jobs which didn't where individuals were not able to do. So with the combination of COVID and making some of those jobs remote jobs by organizations, now we have access to those jobs, and without access to the technology, those jobs were not available. So it's opening up more and more opportunities
And do
the
you work globally a lot? Do you work in other countries a lot?
yes. So we work in UK, Ireland, and some part of Europe, as well as in India, as you know, India.
Yeah, of course.
But yeah, we do a lot of work in this space with some of our customers. One of the beautiful thing, Karen, we have started seeing that when companies they are building the program for US, they want us to expand their program in other countries because they want to establish a program which is more universal, more consistent throughout the organization. So that's the beautiful thing, and where we start small, then we expand our programs into US, and then they want us to expand into other countries. So there is a consistent, and one of the things which we have seen that in all these countries those initiatives are there. It's just a matter of bringing all those programs, all those activities under one roof so that we can manage it more effectively. It's more consistent, it's high quality, it's driven by best practices, things like that. We can introduce that to their program at the global level. So
Cool.
globalization has been a very important integral part of our work. And
That's why I'm so excited about this summit, is because it is a global thing. And I started traveling when I was like 10. So I always had that really wanting to be all over the place. But I love, travel and, visiting other countries, and people from everywhere really matter a lot to me. So it's really good that everybody can be involved in this.
great work, we really appreciate
The summit emphasizes discovering the many gifts, and this is really true to our mission too, the many gifts and talents that people with autism possess. Can you share a personal or professional experience that highlights this?
it. Yeah. um So many, so many.
Couple.
So one of the experience, just a recent experience, we had with one of our employer partner, um, someone autistic job seeker, didn't want it to go and participate in the interview because she thought that she is not qualified.
Mm.
And we really put in a lot of efforts in convincing her that based on our understanding, you are qualified. Yes, you are lacking one or two very minor things, but the hiring manager will be open, and it's okay to just give it a shot.
Mhm.
And she went for the interview, and she got the job. And this is with one of the very large global life science pharma company. And after she got the offer, she wrote a song. I passed the test, and I am the only one who passed the test, because of course she was hired. And she wrote the whole song and shared with us, and then we shared with this with our employer partner. It was just amazing, and these are the stories which we always share, because it's a lot of times it's the individual or the job seeker or the candidate, in some cases parents also. We underestimate our abilities and what we have, and
I want
that's
to
what
hear the
we have.
song.
Yeah, it's amazing how she presented the song, and she sang that song for us, and it was beautiful.
Oh,
Another success story I can think of is someone whom we hire from the special needs school. He was working as a assistant mechanic in the local community, and one of our employer partner was looking for someone to do the software testing job. And we reached out to him through his school network, and his principal or director of the school. And we got the introduction, we made the introduction, and person got hired. And 2 years later, he on the job, he started learning about data analytics and data visualization, and all these advanced tools through self-learning. And he was hired by this organization as a full-time employee with a six-digit salary, uh,
wow.
just a no college degree. And just imagine. So these are the truly, we call this untapped talent, and it's all up to us how we map this talent to those right jobs, and then more importantly, how we create that environment so they can thrive, right? So these are the stories which just helps us keep going and keep moving the needle and pursuing those strategies, so that we can help both sides, our employer partners, as well as individuals on the spectrum.
That is beautiful. That's wonderful. So, do you have some more things that you want to tell us and talk about Rangum?
Yeah. So Rangam is, we are a workforce solution company, and our core expertise since 2002 is we serve Fortune 500 companies for their contingent and hiring, direct hiring, when they hire neurotypical people without disabilities. That's what our expertise, that's what we do. We have been doing for last 20 years. And when we saw an opportunity to build something innovative in the workforce solution area, from our learnings, as I mentioned earlier, since 2000. Between 2007 and 2015, we were working on some technology to teach children on the autism spectrum. And from that, we started, identifying those opportunities with our current existing customers whom we were serving for staffing needs. And we started with small. And once we started seeing those successes with some of our early adopters, what we started doing in 2017, 18, 19, we started converting that into more structured framework. And through this journey, now we have this framework called Source Able, where we are helping companies not only just hire, but building this end-to-end program. And through this journey, what we learned that hiring was not new. What was the real problem or the challenge was after hiring, sustaining the job. And a couple of incidences we ourselves experienced that hiring manager was interested in hiring somebody autistic for this job. And after a year, when that hiring manager moved on with their career, growth and with different role, different location, the individual whom the person hired was not getting the support and got fired. And this has been going on for years. Now that's when we started putting our thoughts and expertise and say, how can we solve this problem? Because hiring is easy, but sustaining is, and providing that support, doing the right matching, doing the right hiring is the key. And with our expertise, with working with Fortune 500 companies globally, we know the procurement, we know those onboarding, complex onboarding processes and compliances and documentation and employment regulations. So that's where we started taking that expertise and understanding from the autistic talent, and we started building this framework. So now we have this amazing a framework of Sourceable, which we go into this large organization and help them build their program. Of course, through customization, because every organization is different. And then in recent years, which I'm really excited about, is we have started building a technology parallel. So based on all our learnings, we have started building the technology which we have been using ourselves to process all these job orders. And in recent years, we started customizing that technology, and we launched this technology platform called Talent Arbor last year at Disability in Conference. And that's what we see as a future, which is going to change the way companies are hiring autistic individuals, hiring neurodiverse talent, hiring and sustaining, right? So the technology is going to help us really put together and streamline those processes, bring in efficiency, bring in scalability, so we can rapidly expand these programs globally. So that's what we do at Rangum. We are constantly innovative. We are constantly exploring different ideas. And at Rangum, I will say our empathy drives innovation every single day. And every individual at Rangum is looking at some of these challenges in an empathetic way, and we are constantly evolving, constantly building these solutions. And with the mission and with the goal to promote employment for everyone, inclusive of individuals on the autism spectrum, neurodiverse, and people with disability, and people with all abilities. So how do we accelerate employment for individuals with all abilities? So that's what we do.
That is amazing. I love the Talent Arbor touch. That sounds great. It's like using technology to connect the dots, right?
Yeah. And everyone is using technology, right, to bring in efficiency and scalability. Why not for in this particular space? And it is in the beginning of the stage. We are still building those programs. But once we have those matured programs in place, what is next? So we are thinking ahead. a year or 2 years ahead and say, let's put together this technology so that we can plug in and help these companies
You're
scale
quite a
up.
visionary.
Thank you.
Yes. Thank you so much, Nish. I love what you're doing. You're really an innovator and a creative thinker, and you're really changing the world for everybody.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Karen. And you do the same. You have been doing amazing work, and I've seen you for last 10, 15 years. You and your organization has been doing amazing work. So keep up the good work, and let's continue this conversation.
Sounds good. Let's change this world.
Excellent.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Karen.
Thank you.
Take care.